Morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hanging out with you this morning here. I'm introducing Coffee Time with Dave. I don't know whether I'm going to continue to do this or not, but I thought it'd be fun to do today. So, how you doing? Welcome to Coffee Time with me. I'm going to drink some coffee. What an absolute delight. Hey, so I wanted to spend a few moments this morning with you chatting about the big spend. I've been working together with a team the last little while. Actually, watch this. Boom. Quick logo change. The big spend. There you go. The big spend is coming up July the 25th. We're calling it Christmas in July for a reason, because Christmas is on the 25th of December and July is hotter. But the big spend is an incredibly important thing. A number of weeks ago, my friend Tim Schindel, and I'm going to show you an interview in a second that I did with Tim. We got together with a few people, and a lovely young lady who's part of the Chamber of Commerce out in British Columbia. We've seen a number of local Chamber of Commerces jump on to support this. The idea that small business is incredibly important to our country. I put a quote there in the description of this, that small business money is like blood. You have to be able to circulate it for it to actually be effective. And there has not been the degree of money circulating inside our markets that we really need there to be. And so the idea was, let's try and focus on one day to be able to have the nation come together, to be able to spend locally on purpose. I think it's really, really important. I'm going to play this interview with my friend Tim Schindel as we're going here. If you've got comments and thoughts, just throw it out in the chat room. Love to be able to share some of the different things that you think. Okay, let's take a look at this video. I chatted with Tim a few weeks back, and we will take a listen to some of his thoughts about why he came up with the idea of the big spend. Let's just take a look at that. I'm here with my buddy Tim Schindel from Victoria, BC. Tim, how you doing?
Hey, I'm great, Dave. How are you doing today?
Awesome. So Tim and I have known each other for quite a number of years now, and if you're friends with me, you may have seen my travels earlier this year. I was able to go out to the BC Provincial Legislature and speak at the prayer breakfast out there, as well as Queen's Park, the Ontario Legislature, speaking at the prayer breakfast. My friend Tim runs a network of chaplains across our country through Leading Influence, it's called. And Tim, you've got a heart to be able to care for those who are leading our nation. Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so Leading Influence was established in 2007, and our vision is to provide care to politicians across Canada. We're non-political, non-issue, non-partisan, so not there to try and change anyone's mind on anything, as much as just to walk along and support and be an encouragement to them in whatever way we can.
So, I don't know, a month ago, you give me a call and you go, have a dream and an idea, and you started talking to me about something that we have since called the big spend, and it was a from the pit up going, man, we have to be able to do something to help with the economic recovery of our nation. Tell me a bit about where the big spend came from.
Well, the big spend is really a God idea, right? Credit where credit is due. The big spend is a God idea for me, and really just came out of this idea that the church is always kind of on the back end of things. We're either reacting or we're trying to catch up and be relevant, or whatever it might be. But I really believe that the church can be and needs to be ahead of the curve, because, well, frankly, we're connected to the Creator. So it would make sense that we should be leading in creativity. And so I just had this idea that we could spark a national economic kickstart supporting local business, because part of my story is I'm a former Chamber of Commerce president, and just to be a blessing, bring a blessing to locally owned small businesses and support them. I saw some numbers the other day that said that 10%, 1 in 10 of small businesses in Canada are at risk of not recovering from this, which to me is horrifying.
I read the same thing, and it just, I mean, obviously now for the last little while, we've been working at getting the big spend idea, fleshing this out and working on websites. And we have our Facebook page that's up. You can see that right there. So you can go to the big spend on Facebook and like that. But as I hear this, I had an incident, about 3 weeks ago. We were beginning to start our COVID Kindness Awards, where we wanted to be able to honor different people in our community for them rising up and helping during this crazy time. Well, we were going to give away free ice cream through a local small business called Dairy Delight, and these guys have given us free ice cream for years and years to go and give into the community. The idea of the big spend jumped up at me, and I'm like, these are folks that haven't been able to be open to be able to get their business going. And so it was a small thing, but we took money and said, we're gonna spend on purpose into your ice cream shop to get gift certificates to be able to give away, instead of you having to give it to be able to give away as a promotional thing. And my friend who ran the place was like, oh my goodness, what an incredible thing. And it was a difference of $150, but the intention of being able to go, I'm going to spend locally and small on purpose, because local and small, they're the ones that make such an enormous difference in our community, right, Tim? Like, these are the guys that sponsor sports teams and are the settings of, wedding proposals. These are the lifeblood of our community.
They really are. And, I saw some stats, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago as I started working on this. So and I'm not anti-Walmart or Costco or big business or anything like that, but every $100 that's spent at a Walmart generates about $42 coming back to the community in taxes mostly and in payroll. Every $100 spent at a locally owned business generates about $68, I think it is, that comes back to the local community. And so, right, and that comes through, as you just mentioned, obviously through taxation and wages, but also community sponsorships, sports sponsorships, giving away free ice cream, all of that stuff. It all adds up after a while. And local businesses are where we go to make our memories. Local businesses are always there. And if we don't step up now and help them, when they're gone, they're gone. And it's, that it's going to be that much harder to start from the ground up after this is over.
This past weekend here in Brantford, our churches joined together and we did a food drive. And we were able to raise 44,000 pounds of food for our Brantford Food Bank. And in Paris, just outside of Brantford in Brant County, they were able to raise 18,000 pounds of food for their food bank. And the food banks are literally overflowing with food because a bunch of people in a market said, let's do this together and let's choose to do this together. And with even a limited amount of time, the actual impact was flabbergasting. And so when we take the idea of the big spend here in Brantford or in any other community, we're looking for people to be able to really grab onto this and go on July 25th, right? I got that right? The 25th?
Christmas in July.
Christmas in July. There you go. We're going to choose to spend locally on purpose as an act of transformation, as an act of restoration economically. The impact that it can have nationally, Tim, I think could be overwhelming.
And I agree with you. I think that there's just there's so much possibility, and there's so this really, and it's, like nobody's, everybody's winning, right? Nobody's getting an inordinate piece of the pie. All we're doing is stepping up and saying, we're going to support local business, and we're going to help them through this time, and we're going to inject some much needed capital, much needed cash flow. So the grand vision is, it's kind of funny. I thought, well, could we generate a $10 million spend across the country? And I was out on a bike ride and thinking to myself, that's just lame. $10 million is really hardly anything. in terms of a national spend. And so we've set our eyes on 100 million, which I'm still not sure is really that big a goal. But for me, $100 million is a lot of money. And so I'm excited.
For me too, for the record. Yes,
for me
yeah,
too,
yeah.
yeah, for both of us, right? But I'm excited just to see where this will go. And quite literally, I'm thinking of an ice cream place that I visited in Charlottetown last September, I think it was. It's like, wouldn't it be cool to know that they're being blessed by this? And in my local butcher shop here that I like to go to buy brisket up for my smoker, and like sort of across the country, we find these small businesses and just be a blessing to them. So I'm excited about where this is going to go.
So what we're asking people to do is to come up with a plan, to put aside some money and go, I'm going to spend on purpose real big on one day and do this together, and then share your spending story. So if we go to thebigspend.com, on that day, be able to go, I spent X amount. You don't have to tell us all the amount, but if you even give us a range, because we want to be able to try and tally what the economic infusion into local markets are going to be. So you go to bigspend.com, tell us your spending story throughout the day. We're going to be we're going to do as best as we can to be able to track the spending activity locally in specific markets and across the country. And if you tell us, great. If you don't, that's good too, right? But what we're really believing, it's going to be a fantastic day. Tim, what's making you the most excited about it right now?
I think what's making me the most excited about it is the broad coalition. That's probably not the best word, but the broad coalition that we're creating here, this partnership and the synergy that comes from it. So for example, there's local churches that are going to be a part of this, but there's also chambers of commerce that are going to be a part of this. And there's going to be business improvement associations. And we've got, political friends from my work there that are going to come on board and promote this to their constituents, because everybody wants to see local business do well. And so I like the big picture partnership synergy that comes from this. I think that's kind of going to be the secret sauce, if you will, with all of this, as that's what's going to make this thing a lot of fun across the country. And and as you said, make your plans. The other day my wife says to me, so where are you going to do your big spend? And I'm probably going to do my big spend at a local baseball club that had to shut down this year. It was college baseball summer program, had to shut down this year. I'm going to go there. I'm going to probably buy a jersey or a couple of ball caps or whatever to help my friend out. My wife is going to spend her money at a one of those essential oils places that makes your house smell nice. That's what she's going to do. So, but everybody's going to make their choice and do what they want to do. And I think that's going to be really exciting.
So if you want to get involved, I'm going to put both of our email addresses that you can get a hold of us right below us right now. You can shoot either Tim or I a message. You can go to the Big Spend's Facebook page that's up and going shortly. Our website's going to be up and going. There's going to be more resources and videos. This really is just to share the idea and then choose to spend on one incredible day. Tim, you're the best, buddy. I'm super excited about this.
Thanks, Dave. Always fun to be with you.
It is always fun to be with him. That was a few weeks ago. Obviously, that was not me separated into two specific places in time and space. So I guess I want to be able to just ask you today, where would you go and spend on purpose if you're watching either on Facebook or on YouTube? Where would you go and spend on purpose? I'd love to be able to hear where you would spend on purpose. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the Big Spend's website because it's pretty neat. This is done by our friends Eric and Rick Ames, who are wonderful, wonderful guys. Let me just show you what the website is. I'll take you on a bit of a tour of it. Here, we'll do it like this. Here we go. Perfect. So this is it's an awesome website. Really, really neat thing. We got 22 days and 7 hours until we do this. The goal is to be able to see 1 million Canadians join in the Big Spend. This is what we really hope to be able to see happen over the course of the day, where all across the country we're hoping to be able to get reports of how people are spending in little ways, and then hashtagging the Big Spend we would love to be able to really get a feel of how much was infused into local economies over the course of a day, because I think it would be so neat, because this stuff, there's been so much during COVID time that we can't do, that has been annoying that we can't do, but this is something that we actually can do. So the idea is you buy local and you send your report into the big spend, and then you share the news. And we'd love to be able to let you become a spend friend. Oh, the spend friend. Interesting idea, Dave. So anyway, I just want to come on and remind you about the big spend. It's a really neat thing. We put a lot of time into it. And here in Brantford, if you're watching in Brantford, I'd love to be able to hear where you would suggest that people spend their big spend money into, because it really honestly makes a difference. Patronizing our local business is incredibly important. It always is, but it's extra important. You can actually see tonight I'm on my weekly Brant Life show, hashtag Brant Life, if you will. The Brant Life show airs premieres tonight at 9:30 on Rogers TV, and we're going to be chatting with Dave Prang from the Brantford Chamber of Commerce, as well as Tim Schindel, who you just saw is going to be joining me on Brant Life live from Victoria, and we're going to be talking about really the economic state that we're in, some of the state of small business here in Brantford and beyond. So it's a great show. If you don't get Rogers TV, you can go to Rogers TV on Facebook, and you can the link will be put up there once it airs tonight, or you can watch it online as well. Good show. All right. I hope you guys have a lovely day. This has been Coffee Time with Dave. I'm going to do a few of these in the next little bit, just to be able to talk about. Here's my little thing. Check that out. See, I'm going to talk about life and stuff and things and other things. I bet you can hardly wait. All right, my friends, you guys have a wonderful day. Have a great day. Do good things today. See ya.